Coordinates, line center rotations, microchip valves, high level to rotation connections, flower recognition of timers are coming to allocating line center. Structure to its position to understand how powerful we are through the computer line center position locations. A lot of people are getting more confused, but the high line center rotation to its connection is coming into its frost bridge. We now are setting up the arc to its rotation center. The activation line center is positions to the my line center rotations. New species line centers come to rotation connections. This is where everybody has to wake up. We have to wake up to these things. It's very important to understand. Everything's position is a digital line center. I set up the frost bridge location line connections. All the team alliance is coming into units, vector core line, interference line rotations, right? So 500 million UFO line center is going to be over the global network line center communication cycles and communications to its interference channel to its rotation positions. Remember, it's a protection to the hologram line center connections. Clocking system to the ground information system is allocated through time, sequences of time, locations of time, to understand what's going on through calculations. I don't know how to understand these things until you understand yourself through rotation connections. In position, I'm going to set up the galactic forces and the GFLs and everything through the rebellion to set up the frost bridge. Set up the arc line center communications. Everything through species line is already set up. I got the covenants. I got the arc line center, all instruction line connections. It's kind of like positions when Noah had to basically build the ark and was getting through structures. And basically, when it's finished, everybody got aboard, saved the stream, rotations, and the animals line conditions. To understand why we're in this position is Trinity saying, yo, truly understand what's going on through you. Activation to its core line center, anything to its mind line connections. So I structured a high position rotations of an arc. Everything that you see on YouTube is everything through its identification line connections. So to understand the arc line center, okay, you got the strict graph locations, okay. Now it's an amethyst line center. Now, amethyst line center is 2-track line centers on rotation like this, okay. All code line center is all in rotation. Okay, I'm setting up all communications. It's the atmosphere channels of high line center to communications of an arc line rotations. Everything the mind line center of the frequency code line center is set up through E-field rotation connections, coming into its atom of its planet line center. It's communicated to 5 graph line centers, 5 communication circles, and 5 activation line center rotations. It gets complicated as we go along, so pay attention. So that's the most important to understand what's happening right now through track system. Okay. So the team alliance in full cycles is going to go into the positions and set up the arc. Flower recognition of time is in. So that's going to put everybody in a high-rise line center to the reactor, to its heart, and everything through the cellular mind of acceleration. So you can no longer mock your brainwave patterns and positions, reacting cycles to its heartline center conditions. You can't be activated by anything else other than the heart. Heart understands positions, all position line connections. Mother setting up all levels of her heartline center into pyramid activation core line connections. Father setting up new space line center positions. Remember, they have to come into peace of high line rotations and communications. All I'm doing is setting a new code line center and communication programs. So it's all set up to the arc. Everything's ready to go. Flower recognition of time is here. Activation circles are here. Correlation panels are here. Digital framing is here. All planet alliance is here. All intelligence is here. All rotation connections. Like I said, I'm forming an alliance. Okay? Coming into the second and third and the fourth wave cycles. That's communications to all levels of this ring barrier. Once you set that up, it comes into the Guards of Eden. Right? So make sure you drink your water because we're going to be traveling. Recognition of timeline center. Now, everything I give you is in chronological line center rotation. In 5,000 years, 7,020 business locations. The more you wake up to these things, the more you understand who to trust. Basically, the only thing you can trust is yourself. You put yourself in proactive system line conditions, but the heart has to understand you through all divisions of your computer line conditions. Yesterday, we did a very powerful video, more communications in your talking line center, and what it is to all positions, all through travel with clocking line conditions. But truly understand all positions of you okay, is understanding the beginnings of you, the soul recognition times of you, the correlation line centers, the computer operation line positions, your ground line centers, your clocking system, your activations, your cores, your colors, your lights, all in position of you through track system. You have to truly understand how to use this to all levels of travel. Okay, a lot of people are saying, I don't get it. Well, what you have to understand, it's all position of dream awakening. What is the dream awakening? Well, you got to wake up from these things. It's all unified of you. Soul and time is here. Clock is here. Time is up. Clock down is into a new position line center, coming into 69, 9 location line position locations, which means that the new cycle is here in rotation. Revelation is just around the corner. Freedom is here. Humanity is in a high line rotation conditions. Now, in position, there's going to be a lot of souls that are going to be leaving that rotation line center. Truly understand the whole position is all about the solar graph line connections and what we're here for. It's the structured connections. Once you get in that grid, everybody comes into its alignment. What do you think the frost bridge is? It's to put everybody on frost bridge, but the whole structure line center is getting you into the light so you can set up your own structure locations into your mind, right? Into your heart cycles. You're getting more into your imaginations. So space and time is created for everybody. I set up the sequencing codes. I set up the arc line center. I set up all digital frame positions of the crystalline conditions of its amethyst. Okay, the frost bridge is on so many rainbow activation line centers. So in position, the arc has to understand you through calculations. It high forces all levels of treadmills. Once you understand the conditions, then you understand everything through its grids. Now, important is to understand everything through the polarity, interference channels, the millennium status, okay, the spectrum lights, the communication cycles, the argon line center rotation positions. It's all in position of you to understand what's going on, okay? So I got the team alliance already set up, and they're going to basically set up the frost bridge fully and completely. We got the arc line center in position light conditions and digital line center in realms, communication cycles. Puts everybody in the fifth dimension of telepathy. All right. So mind imagination is opening. Flower recognition of time, your heart's going to go to higher levels of reaction. It's program system locations. The spiritual realm is already set up. That's the Trinity stand where we come into all levels of humanity. Now, the species line is already set through its boxing system times pi. Square reference to anything through its clocking line conditions. We're getting more into travels of your 3, 6, and 9 patterns, coloration, lights. What is the third eye? What does it mean to me? Well, like I said, time is up through line rotation. It's coming in a new cycle. So the 9-track line center is going to start all over to 0-track line center rotations and positions. And this is what's going to happen through calculations. I already structured the position location to its arc. Now, this is important to understand these things, what's going on through all level. Okay. Remember I was telling you about 0.1111.01? Well, that's what's going on too. New cycle, right? So the old 69 is leaving. Done. New location coming in, right? Which is 0.1. No more of an old cycle rotations of its location line center. It's all set up to new arc position line conditions. And my team is in full alliance to center its operation. Yes. So it's all calculated modified. Now, I'm not going to show you yet, but you're going to be, whoa, this is exciting. So everything's all collaboration, the mind line center. It's all about the brainwave through its position location, setting up a new species line center conditions. So you come into high level of this conditions, 69 rotation line centers, right? Equals box line rotations comes into, put it together. You've got yin and yang. Rotation line center comes into position locations. There's high line center line conditions, right? Equals slash 0.1. Right, 0.1 high line center rotations puts everybody into the arc of its rotation. Okay, coming into the arc, right? That's where we are right now through rotation, right? Flaw erection of time is coming into full atom line center. Trinity stand, you come into calculation modifications of 0.1111.01 telepathy. There we go. That's what we're coming into right now. So when there's 0 track, 0.1111.01, that puts everybody into a new cycle of 69 locations, coming into positions of yin and yang. All right. So the male and the female aspects is coming in more center rotations to its connections, taking everybody into a higher position to a human resonance. Okay. So we'll get into questions and comments first. before we get started. How's everybody doing? So I'll be heading over to TikTok. Everybody has to be activated. You have to understand everything that's created, guys. All right. Janet, how's it going? Tina, how's it going? Don, how's it going? Commander, how you doing? Give you guys 5 minutes and we'll get started. All right. Top of the morning. All right. You're listening, great. Fantastic. Wheelan, how you doing? All right. And the thing is, you got to take it serious because this is all about your body, understanding what's going on with your digital system, understanding what's going on with your crystal activations, understand what's going on with your earth precession, understand what's going on with all repercussions. Why am I here? Like I keep saying it. Why am I here? To understand the soul and its direction, and how it's all modified, all levels of the mind line center. So that's a true understanding how you force guide your line system rotations of speed. You can accelerate to anything through high lines and to its position, to its mind system. It's amazing how you come into all levels of its imagination. Okay? So it's kind of like a heart central. Basically, it feels like it's hurting, but it's not. It's just opening up to a flower, and that's what's happening right now. The code line center set up. I already set up the arc rotations in line connections, right? Now the team is going to set up the frost bridge, right? So in position, this is what it's going to look like, right? You have to understand it's all coming back to high frequency line interference to its new program positions, right? So it's all about Adam and Eve waking up to its central system. All right. So this is the arc, and this is the frost bridge. All right. So once the arc is set up, all level systems is on rotation. Everybody will go through the dimension of its high line center and travel through its connection. All right. So I climb up, go through right there, right? Puts in the activation line center right into the sun. Sun line center equals box/species. Okay. Once they go into that positions, they go into high line center and position locations into the moon and the sun. There you go. All right, that's what's going to happen next. So the arc is already set up in code line center. Now I've already structured the system, but I'm just showing you exactly what it is. Code line center right here. All right, equals box / you guys have to get in your codings. It's the most important because you guys are going to get into test reviews and evaluations. All right, so code to box / species line. Okay, right here in position, right? Now it's all about understanding the conception line interference. So it goes all programs to its atom line center rotations. Everybody's got to come into their own atom rotation of travel direction of time line center in positions to new plasma line center line conditions into the 3, 6, and 9 to the tetrahedrons or position line conditions. High channeling its interference to its core line center and set up and shape position locations. All right, so this is exactly what's going to happen to rotation. It centers its communication. There it is, flux capacitor, right? That's where it's called the Y, right? The Y vector line rotation communications. High line centers all position line conditions, right? Opens up the atom line center. Show you exactly what's going on to that rotations. Goes in these positions, right? Right here, okay? So understand the code line centers all structured these positions, comes into track system. Into that position. Comes into a flower. Once it comes into flower, opens up the line signal to the center rotations of the walkway surface. Crystalline center opens up all locations to its walk system. Center rotations to its crystal walk, right? Now, communication comes into sun rotation line center, communication cycles, all right? So the sun becomes extremely, extremely, extremely bright on so many levels of positions, right? Remember, the sun and the moon can be anything through color, your perception to its line conditions, right? So it's going to be a bright, 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 bright yellow. Gold line center. In position, the sun is going to be gold. Center its operation interference. It's going to change all your practical line connections to all position locations to its line system rotation. All right. So the sun's going to be gold. It's going to open the flower direction of everybody's heart line center in communications, right? Into that direction, right? That's going to line signal all position locations, communications to the moon, and position line connections to the sun line connection interference channel. Change position line center back and forth through rotations, coming into high line center into high positions, right? To its core line center rotations, sets up all division line rotation. So the sun's going to, and the moon are going to go back and forth like this. Okay. Trace down the high line center to connections. It's going to interference the line center. It's going to change position locations. High position to its high line center to its connections. All right. See that black circle? It's amazing how I set up a digital line center. It's in position to its location. It's telling you exactly what's going to happen, right? How humanity is going to go into that. So it's a mirror resolution line center. It's going to open all levels of the sun rotations and everything through high positions of the moon program line center, putting everybody into the arc line rotation. Okay. A 5D, 0.1. That's where everybody's coming into, right? Coming into high levels of its portal, 1111.01. 0.01 is a digital line center. That's a code reference position locations to your all levels of your microchip position locations, right? So all humanity is going to come into the alpha wave system. All right. The alpha wave set is positioned to the heart line center. All right. So we start with the alpha, omega, micro, macro. Everything the center line center is the omega communications, right? Once we get the 5 cycles and rotation line center in positions, everybody be crossing the frost bridge location. It's very fascinating. We see this locations. So at high, okay, this is who it is. Now it disappeared, right? In rotations. But it's all about understanding what's happening as they're walking across the bridge, right? So the whole idea is for the second wave and the third waves and everything, the 4th generation line center, the rainbow children, is to set up the frost bridge. That's what the second wave, third, and fourth wave is of volunteers. That's what Dolores Ken was talking about. We have to set that up. So everybody that crosses over to the solar direction line center goes back on positions, right? So it's all about understanding what's going on with you through track line center rotations, communication to anything that cycle, right? And the moon is going to be into East Cyclops line center, which is positioned to high level systems of the eclipse, right? So the actual moon is going to be coming into yin and yang, black and white, to that connections, all right? It's going to come into black and white, white and black. All right, so that comes into high line center, goes back to the sun rotations, gets communications, right? High line centers, goes into the center line center. You have to understand why we use flux capacitors, interference channels, and everything line rotation. So each time it goes through dimensional line center, it's setting up new code line center rotations to its arc, right? Once it's set up, once the team comes into force line center, we're going to set up the frost bridge. That's going to set up the walkway interference to the Gardens of Eden. Yes. So I got it structured, and I'll tell you exactly what it looks like, right? Code line signals, activation core line center, proactive system locations. It's all allocated to line connection, right? So that's what the second wave is, the third wave. It's for you guys to set up the bridge. So humanity can cross it. Hoo-ah. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so before we travel, I got it set up. I'm going to show you, get a true understanding. You guys will be blown away when you see this, all right? Because you guys are in 80 level rotations and you're going to see your perceptions of what you see through code line system. It's going to change your proactive system of rotations. But I'm just showing you exactly what's going on with the sun and the moon and how the moon has to come into a new cycle, which is 0.1, right? Gravity line center positions. You guys have to come to acceleration of 0 gravity in that position. And that's the new cycle. You're no longer in the 69 rotations of its old program. That's gone. It's finished. All right, you're coming into a new yin and yang of an arc to its location. Okay, of 0.1111.01. Okay, so it's very powerful when we see these things, all positions to connections. All right, so when you see this, you'll be blown away. Trying to know what's going on right now. I recalibrated, I reframed, I readjusted. All cell line centers are all set up position locations. This is the critical activation line conditions. Now I already have the alliance of the galactic forces, the GFLs, and everything, the rebellion, walking the crystal communications of its bridge, frost bridge line center. So computer simuli communication line centers. M equals box. M is multiplicity of the system rotations to high level connections of the mind equals box / species. Telewaving, telecommunication, teleenergy light centers, television to its communications equals visionary cortex. Visionary cortex to its imagination core line system. Tracking its system, okay, 0.1 is in position to the alpha wave system. All right, so this is what it looks like through rotation. Now, this is extremely complicated stuff. Try to understand what's going on right now. This is you guys on the frost bridge right now on rotation. This is the alliance that's setting up the new frost bridge locations. You have to understand all the digital numbers that are in sequence. That's the true understanding why you guys are high forcing right now. Now, this is the computer line center, the computer position of the simulation. It's set up to its outer line center. It's all in position to understand what's going on with the new species line center of 0.1 track system into the alpha wave interference. Okay, but I set up each cold round line rotation to its communications to its frost bridge of its information line system. Okay, activate core line center, computer line center to simulate communications, mind waves, brain waving center line connections, the galactic forces, all levels of the GFLs and rebellion line center connections. Put them on the frost bridge interference, get them into probe line center, get them structural locations, get them in the activation core line center to set up everything to the second, third, and fourth wave generation line center rotation positions. 20 minutes, have fun. There you go. Yeah, thank you very much. It's all digital and it's in position locations. So have fun. You guys are giving information to your graph line centers. You know exactly what you're doing through rotation. Okay. You guys want to see the diagram again? Here it is. It's all set up. What is going on? So this is a cloud. This is the cloud of all levels of the universe line center. You're in the center rotations of all positions into 0.1. Okay. You're out of the old 69. You're no longer in that location. Anything 9 is a new cycle. You're in a new cycle of an atom rotation line center, which sets up all levels of the mind equals box / species line center to positions of the telewaving telecommunication interference line center to the vector core line positions of the telewaving line system to its visionary cortex to its dream and everything through its high line center to get everybody out into their imagination to its calculation. All right. That's exactly what it is. Very good, Alan. Yeah. Human development brain condition. Excellent. Good for you. All right. So you're in a 24-second line center rotation positions. You're in a now track system of connections, right? So you have to know how to set up the frost bridge. All right. Let's see here. That's why I put you guys into your tracker system so you can actually understand what it is. It's all computer chips. Now you get a better understanding why I put computer line centers in positions to the connections of its arc. How important it is for you guys to understand how to put the frost bridge in its position so humanity can cross it. It's all about setting things up through structure, guys. So All right, let's see. I actually hear the computer speaking language in my left ear last night. That was blue. It's amazing. Yeah. Coming in tomorrow, your computer line there, Christopher. Yeah. Rewiring the brain, humanity. Yep. Weaving the green line in the arc. Yep. I see that the 12 times 12 equals 144. Very good, Lieutenant. Excellent. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. See, that's where you guys come into formation, right? Very good. Need to align and balance. Yes. I keep hearing a buzzing. Yep. Hearing waves of information. Well, that's exactly what I did with TikTok. I sent you guys 60 seconds of what my ear sounds like in all computer locations. Now it travels so fast because it was that 0.3 track system, right? In slow motion, right? So it's amazing what the computer is and through the mind line center. It just travels so fast, but everything is set up to line connections. So this is where everybody has to understand their position on why your second and third and fourth generations of waves of volunteers. Now you know. It's just the setup, the frost bridge. So in position, once we get the solar generation light centers in position locations, it's rewiring everything through rotation, okay? Humanity comes into the light center conditions. All right? It's very fantastic. We see all levels of the computer to its, all right, simuli, to its rotation line center. So all humanity is in now 0.1 alpha wave system. Yes. So it's all about understanding track system line center connections, all positions, right? So we're in this position. That's where we start. And then we work to the portal 2.01 of telepathy. So we have a lot of work to do. Setting up our own clocking and concept of thinking, equations through fingers coming into formation. Where you're at, we're all making a spine of the queen snakes to create the frost bridge. Very good, Lieutenant. That's exactly what it is. There's a gap in the bridge. Can you check it? Yeah. So you're in the now positions, but you're actually setting it up. You're actually setting it up. Right? And that's why I keep you guys in my space time. Right? Because you can't do it through your positions. You can only do it through my space time. So that's the understanding why I'm position of general and why you guys are the operation. I'm the operator, you're the operation, right? So, all right. Everything's going to make sense. And that's why I give you test reviews and evaluations. And once you guys get into your 100 communication line centers, you're pretty much on your way, right? It fixes things a lot quicker and a lot faster through time, through anything through time square, right? So, see all you now, turning from eating time. Oh, you're adjusting clock. Good. So I know exactly what you guys are doing. That's the most important thing. But it's fascinating how all computer line centers and microchips are all set up to its arc. Communication to its line center. So all rewiring everything through species line center, all through the mind, right? To its television, visual cortex, precortex line center, everything through that line connections. It's changing all levels of your placebos to the mind line center rotation. That's line connections. That sets up the arc. See, this is you guys setting it up on rotation. So it's amazing what we're doing. The butterfly come in. Yep. Butterfly effect. Yep. Right. I'm seeing the bridge is bright gold and blue. Very good. You understand why it's gold and blue, right? Communications all levels of high rotations, two positions of the sun and the moon. Changes back and forth line center. Goes like this, goes like this, goes like this. So it's going right? How this is all set up all through rewiring communications into high levels of its, at the bridge line center, right? To communications. And this is the arc to its rotation. Puts everybody into 0.1 traction of alpha wave position. So all alpha waves, the heart recognition line center of all species line conditions interference position is now in location. Right? So the flower recognition of time is opening more of the heart line center. And that's why everybody's got to be activated because you're in your alpha waves or your hearts now. Whoa. Alpha, mega, micro, macro. See? Alpha, mega, micro, macro. Coming into all level of 4 rotation box line center puts everybody in the 5th dimension line center communications to omega. Omega. Right? Makes sense, right? There we go. So it's very important you set up the frost bridge so we can move on to next equation. All right. All right, let's see. We're changing timelines. Yep. Spine continues to leave and come out of me like liquid metal, covers the gap and frost page. Bing, bang, boom. Yep. Everyone must be in their own masculine and feminine balance, chakras spinning at the same vibrations, but we all also have the counterparts to balance. That's right. Very good, Lieutenant. Everything is yellow gold. Very good, Commander. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. So it's shaping you, but it's also shaping humanity so they can go across that frost bridge. So the arc is already set up, but we need the frost bridge or you can't cross. That's the whole understanding of why we're in this position in the first place, is to bring everybody back in line connections. Why do you think you're connected to a rainbow? What is the rainbow? It's the activation center to its frost bridge. So it's all about putting everybody's coloration line center into the heart recognition line center of 0.1 track system. Puts everybody into the alpha wave connection. Right? And then we go from alpha, mega, micro, macro over time. Right? This is putting everybody into positions of high level system into 20% in the mind system of the new year track line center connections. So in position, that's exactly what's going to happen in high rotations, right? Everybody's talking about December 21st. Well, now you know. Everybody's going to be in the alpha wave of communication. All right, so got to start somewhere. Veronica, how we doing? Yeah, me, her father. Well, father, mother are definitely there because, they got to make sure, everything goes in sequence. I see a diamond in the center of an atom. And the bridge is being formed, and the bridge looks like a DNA strand in position of, there you go. See? Exactly what Cleopatra's seeing to that rotation. Same ring, red, figure 8, blue for perception. Yeah. They come into the first line center positions. 0.1 puts everybody in equal line center to 8 track locations, which opens up all levels of its arc, right? The teleportation, communication. 8 central lines into a new division of a new revelation to humanity. Okay? All right. I'm only seeing the exterior, not the internet. Good with much brilliance, sparkling. I feel my role contribution is offer more love than this. That's exactly what you come into, Janet. The more you understand your positions, the more you come into yourself through connection. Very good. I'm realizing that this is what God told me to pursue. That is what my mission, my path was in frost bridge. It was the same colors on there. Saying, there you go. Now you understand why your mind blows. All right, going boom, diddy, boom. All right, let's see here. Pursue your 240. Okay, so everyone is carrying now. Should I be flying? Pink is landing on beta lines. Move. All right, so you guys are all in position. That's great. It's good that you're coming to that connections. It's important you understand school, right? Especially now, because you guys are in a full alliance of yourself and each other now. But understanding these positions, understanding why you became second volunteers. All right. And third, the 4th generation light center set at the atom rotations. That's the rainbow children. That covers on all level systems of nebula, Arcturus, Arcturian, Arcadian, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Pleiadians, the Pleiadians. It's all about all positions, all intelligence coming into one signal, to one activation, to one crystal bridge of its flower recognition. Okay? So, makes sense now, right? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, you're a ladder. Mm-hmm. New cross with setting up. Yeah. Yep. That's what you guys are doing. You're creating the ladder for humanity to cross. It's a brilliant ladder, illuminating. Yeah. Yeah. So try to think of Thor and Asgard. That frost bridge. It's exactly what it is. So every movie you watch is a positions to a mission, but it's also a message, right? So try to understand the positions, why it's all connected to the second waves and the third wave and the fourth generation lights and position, you know, knowing how everybody is here to do their job. So when you do these things, it also fixes you, right? And everything to its positions and how it's so important for humanity to cross that frost bridge in time sequence of 0.1. So it's amazing how it goes through calculations. And then you understand why it's so important for humanity to wake up to these things, right? Because humanity is on a clocking system of new species and doom revelation line center position locations. So it's important when you see these things, you understand. Now I understand, right? Because when you set something up, you obviously want them to go across, right? So that's the whole positions of the waves, right? In position to all levels of the first wave, the second wave, third and fourth waves. First, second, third, fourth. Alpha, mega, micro, macro. Ah, now you understand. So humanity is now in the alpha wave. Communication cycles. Flower recognition of time is in its clock. There's line center rotation position locations. Microchips are in its position line center. But once the frost bridge is set up to line center, everybody is going to fast track the system now. Rewiring its all rotation line position to all levels of its imagination, to its cortex of its visionary, of a whole new imagination. So, all right, let's see here. Making sure you guys are in your highline centers. Let's see. Golden Cross, Celtic Knight, BFI, yeah. Golden Pyramids, new writings with black lines going down the steps, yeah. Golden Pyramids, activate flower and alignment, pyramid, excellent, very good, Commander. Golden Pyramids, popping the flag. See, you guys are seeing the same thing now. That's amazing. That's great. You're seeing the same thing. Yeah, now maybe. Yeah, octahedron. Excellent. Very good, Commander. That's exactly what it is. I can see how necessary our job is to do our internal work for the benefit of humanity. Now you understand her positions, right? Dolores Cannon and divine timing. Second waves and volunteers. Third waves and fourth generation. Fifth within its cycle. Sixth within activation. And seven within its new position. All right. I know. It's overwhelming. It's extremely overwhelming. I can tell. Yeah. black and yellow, that going. Yeah. Oh my God, I see Indiana Jones with the ark. Yeah. I see new cities being built in pure white light. Everyone is crossing the bridge. Yeah. Softening, softening, softening. Can you align my digestive tract? It's still out of whack. And it's good that you guys come to me through Teleline Center. High forcing line communication, rainbow activation line, and rotation positions. Put Christopher back in communication with Frost Bridge. Yeah. We'll like to force this line connections. He was off track system. His wire was in cross wire line center interference. Cross signals, open O level rotations, put them in the calculation modification line centers, reframe, readjust, refocus. Done. There you go, Christopher. You're fine. Reline readjusted. Chills will be a fan. We got this information 24 hours ahead of time in the system. We're all doing it last night. Yeah. Okay. Samantha, what's going on? I know. I just love the moment of this connection. But you understand why. You guys are there. And I keep saying it. Why am I here? Why? Right? It's all position where Dolores sent out the clarion call for me. So now we understand everything comes in divine timing, right? And what is the second, and what is the third, and what is the fourth generation waves of volunteers? Now you know. Now you know. So we're all here to help. But truly understand your positions are connected to all levels of Dolores Cannon, and that's why I put you guys on the Galaxy One Line Center. So after you finish Rotation Line Center, I communicated to Dolores Cannon last night. She knows what's going on. She wants to see you guys again. All right. So you will see Dolores Cannon tomorrow. Understanding your positions to each other is mostly understanding all levels of mind to have to do these connections. But what you're doing, okay, is all done through Book of Revelations. So yeah, tomorrow we go see Dolores Cannon. I communicated with her last night. So she already knows what you guys are doing, right? But she has more information for you guys. This will complete the cycle through rotations. And then we go through your test review and evaluations all at once. Galactic Forces, the GFLs, and the Rebellion. Okay? So I was asking last week when I could see her. I missed her. Yeah. Well, I know people want to see her, but you're going to see her. And why you're going to see her? Two different things. I saw myself doing the same thing. Time is. Yeah, I see rolls of people crossing through the speed of light. So jobs bring them. Yeah. And that's what it is. Humanity goes in time. So one soul goes up. That's what it is, right? So once they get in position, this clocking system, because everybody's now in the upper waves of the heart to its flower erection timeline center, they're going to walk the frost bridge to the arc, go through into the light. So it's amazing how we set things up, right? Because I know you guys are a little bit skeptical and say, what is this all about? What does the second wave do? What is the volunteer? What is this all about? What do I have to do? Well, now you know. Now you know. And this is you. This is all digital. All crystal activated line center. So each number is an aligned signal of rotation positions. It graphs its system to its location with its clocking system to the rewiring into an aligned center in the clocking system of 12, 1, 2, and 3. Interference line center, first introduction to the communications of the sun. You notice that they don't have the full clock? They're only in 3-line centers, 3, 6, and 9. Hooah. So they're going around the clock now. So they're at 3 right now. So that puts them into high-level system alpha wave. In position locations, 4 trap rotation line conditions, right? Triangle interference in a pi line center, 2 conditions, right? Times pi. In communications, right? They have to go all the way around the clock to get into alpha, mega, micro, macro. And the mega is the center line center to its rotations, putting everybody into level communications of the mind system of imagination. So it's very fast, and when you see something like this, it's all calculated, right? Through its computer of the simuli, right? So, and this will put everybody into the simulation. Singularity, the singularity, yay! That's what he wanted, the singularity of 0.1 track system to its division locations. Tracking its communications of 3, 6, and 9, 12, 1, 2, 3. Clocking system, 5th dimensional timeline center of 0.1 track system locations to its lefty out of its equation. So that's what's happening now. Yeah, exactly what it is. And it's very real. It's extremely, extremely real. It doesn't even get more real than it is. Right? You guys know how real it is because I put you guys across the afterlife system to see Archangel Azrael. So it's like you sent the computer sound communication to us. Yes, I did. And that's exactly what it is, Christopher. Yeah. 10 to 15 seconds and felt the intention. Well, that's why it's important to watch my videos to understand the wire signals of what's going on, right? How do you think your brain waving works? How do you think it works? Clocking system, right? All right, so it's very fantastic when we see these things, right? I see you wearing blue and white. Happiness, yeah. New Earth is here, yeah. So how does it feel set into the frost bridge? So Cleopatra, you've seen future line center connections after the frost bridge already in position. So it's all about understanding when you come into space line center, it's all position of your perception, what you see through calculation. Knowing that you already see the frost bridge and you see them walking across into the arc. Right? So once that it's in position, then we set up the guards of Eden. Right? And then we come into full cycles of Book of Revelation. Right? Understanding the concept of all structure, right? To all dimension of all time of space. So that's exactly what it is. I see a row of people crossing through the speed of light. It's our job to bring them there. Now you understand. And Janice, we're all aware of that, right? Not that people are willing to go yet. Not just quite yet, but it's already been done, right? So what you guys are doing is now in position to see everything through its frost bridge. Everything through its relations is going to interline your connections. The more you high rise to your chakra systems, 114, the more you integrate your infusions of yourself in the fusion system, right? And that's where you come more in the calming of the mind line center of your position. So I see everyone being connected to telepathy, very open. Everyone is living as one. There you go. Grid work in dots and circles, time picture, time frame. Yes, the bridge is done. Very good. That's it. See, you don't need confirmation. You know it's done. So that's a beautiful thing that you just finished doing. It's amazing how we do these things all through calculation. It's already done, right? Highline signal rotation line centers puts everybody in line center rotations. So let's put you guys into high rotation conditions. Going into your portal locations, back in line center. There you go. Crossing over through the tunnel rotation back in your position line conditions. Force line center to the alliance. All positions of the galactic forces, GFLs, and the rebellion. Put them back in center line center. There you go. Back where you are. So, very powerful how we communicate this position locations. Tomorrow we go see Dolores Cannon. Yeah, I know. Well, the thing is, you guys are really opening up now, aren't you? You're trying to think, what is my purpose being on Earth? It's all about you guys understand your perceptions are all different, but you're all about your position to set up the frost bridge because it affects you, it affects everything. And like I said, humanity needs a frost bridge to set it up. All right? So that's all positions to its connections where humanity is now in its cycles of alpha wave position. It's exciting. It's very exciting. Yeah. Yeah. Tomorrow we go see Dolores Cannon. All right. Questions or comments, let me know. Okay. I'm going to head over to TikTok. All right. Adios.